Billboard Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillboardKiaPanamaCity.com. See us today.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sportage and a 2025 Sorento with $1,748 per month for 1,000 financed in 60 months. Quality limited. Cannot be combined with other finance offers not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Billboard Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 6/2/25.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVL2 Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michael Studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! I'm full of water. I stay hot tub. Stay hot tub. I'm gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it wet. Stay hot tub. Rubber dub in the hot tub. Rubber dub with me. Should I get the hot tub? Yeah. Will it make me sweat? Yeah. Should I get the hot tub? Yeah. Will it make me wet?
Well. Hey, it's Friday. I'm pumped up. Man, you talking about it. Gulf Coast Jam is getting cranked up. Wildcat's wife is just in hog heaven.
God, she's beside her.
Tell her I appreciate the roses. Tell her I really do.
Oh, you got stuff coming.
Oh, man. I love it, brother. I hope all the people that we've given out. We gave out 6 yesterday, a total of, I guess, about 18 tickets to the Gulf Coast Jam. And we're working on about 4 more.
Did you have your Boxcar Willie set ready?
Boxcar Willie, we're listening to it at home. That Elvis, James Brown. We don't need to go to
Slim Whitman sold more records than Elvis.
Can you believe that? Anyway, but you know, the Gulf Coast lineup is really good. But next year, go look on who's going to be there next year is incredible. Keith Urban, we saw him about a week ago. That's the second time we see him. He's the best. Help me, Wildcat. Best guitar player I've ever seen. Of course, I've only seen about 4. But the guy's incredible. He is incredible.
We're talking about any genre, whether it's rock or country or whatever.
The first 3 songs, he played with 3 different guitars. He gave away 1. He talks to the fans. He's got to be one of the best, nicest guys. He came back. He did it 2 years in a row. He comes to the back, security all around him. He goes, now you've got front row seats. Place goes crazy. He came very back and played for all the people way in the back, the poor people where we were at. And he was incredible. His wife was there. But that lineup next year is going to be incredible. But I'm pumped up today because our lineup is unbelievable what we have here. This is bigger than Gulf Coast Jam.
Yeah, it is.
This is one of the biggest lineups we've ever had.
Yeah.
Not only we got Steve Moss in here, which everybody knows. He is the Elvis of
If we had Manley, it'd be perfect.
He tried to get, when he heard these guys are going to be, he backed out. It's a true story. He goes, I don't think I can be there tomorrow. I said, well, Jason's out of town. I said, I got some people coming on, but you want to come on again? He goes, I'll let you know. He never let me know. So last night, real late, he goes, I can come on. I said, no, forget it. It's too late. I got Steve Moss. What? I got Brian Norman. He goes, what? So we got the big hitters here today.
We got the heavy hitters, man.
Steve, welcome, man. You look good. You look good.
Good morning.
Is it when you get through 4 years with your kid? Which is, let's just be honest, and we got a head foot baseball coach here that worked with him all these years, a superstar. Okay, he really is. I mean, all-state, all-American, known throughout the Southeast, known throughout the country in baseball. You go through it, and then it's over. There's kind of a withdrawal. It's kind of a sadness. I heard in your voice the last play he ever played at Arnold. But since then, you and your wife, what's it been like?
So over the past few days, he was down in DeLand, Florida at Stetson University playing in the FACA All-Star Game. So it's the best players, seniors, throughout the state of Florida.
Wow.
Every major league team was there. They had at least 2 or 3 scouts. The place, there was nothing but radar guns and iPads. So it was a really good, talented group of young men down there. And so he pitched on Wednesday and hit as well and did really well. So last night we're driving back, 6-hour drive from DeLand area home, and I'm looking over at him, and I'm thinking, I'm getting a little nostalgic, and I'm like, the last really 10 years, if you go back during our travel ball days, he started when he was around 8 years old. I said, buddy, how many times have we driven home from a tournament like this, where you're half asleep over there and we're stopping at Busy Bee and we're talking about the game and we're reminiscing? And I said, this is the last time Dad will drive you home from a tournament. And we've been doing this 10 years. From now on, next time you play a game and you're going home, it'll be in a team bus or the team airplane or whatever. This is the last time I'm going to be driving you home from an event. And we reminisced. You know, it was a good time. You know, we've flown to Phoenix and Dallas and Atlanta and Cary with the USA baseball program. So we've been all over the world, but it's been a neat run. But last night when we're driving home, I'm like, buddy, this is it. It's the last time Dad drives you home.
Who's a bit tougher on you or your wife? It's got to be both.
I'd probably say me, because honestly, a lot of these trips, it's just been he and I. My wife's a high school, on our elementary school principal, so she's kind of stuck to some degree with the kiddos. So it's just been him and I, flying here, flying there, and I've been in the stands and, you know, sweating my guts out like we were down in DeLand in mid-90s heat yesterday and Wednesday, watching him as a dad. But it was, you know, I would be lying if I didn't get a little bit teared up driving home yesterday, saying, this is it. This is it. And we're so thankful, Coach. It's been a great run. I said, this time next month, you'll be at the University of Florida, and it's going to be on them to provide transportation and food and everything else for you. Or, God willing, you get drafted in July, you'll be playing for the single-A Lugnuts in Topeka, Kansas, or wherever. I don't know. But from now on, you know, it'll be someone else's job to transport you and feed you and make sure you've got the right color socks and make sure your belt matches. And, hey, do you have your cleats? Make sure you got your glove. Do you got enough water? It's going to be hot out there. All those things a parent does, you know what I mean? I said, now that's going to be on the athletic department to do that, and I'm just going to be sitting in the stands and watching.
That's why you're crying tears of joy, because you don't have to feed him anymore.
In the meantime, my bank account is looking a lot better because, you know, but it's been a fun 10 years.
Here's the real question today. Is the voice of the Marlins retiring?
So probably no more baseball for me. I've been doing baseball for 11 years, but in the spring next year, again, Cooper will probably be playing at the University of Florida or some minor league team. Who knows if he gets drafted high enough? So there'll be somebody else doing baseball. I think I'm still going to do football. This is my, I think, 13th year doing football for Arnold.
It's been that long?
Believe it or not.
Golly, man, that's crazy.
So I'll still do football because it's in the fall, but with the spring sports, it'll be someone else. I'd have given him your name and resume and said you'll work for a hot dog and 2 Gatorades.
It's cheap.
I can't pronounce the names. We'll make it up. No, you do a great job with that.
As long as you don't call the umpires any names, you'll be fine.
We can have it. There's a video going around.
Don't bring it.
You know what I did? He's getting ready to play in the state championship series, and Jerry Pridgeon goes, call Moss and tell him that they've rewarded the officials from Quincy the Arnold State Championship Series. And we did. It wasn't a second. I said, look, we were dying laughing. I said, Steve just had a heart attack, a stroke.
I had a meltdown. I'm sure those were good enough guys, but they don't need to be umpiring.
And we've got, not only do we have Steve Moss, Jim Brandt, and Wildcat, this guy I'm really proud of. We brought him here from the great state of Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Louisiana. The one and only Brian Norman, LSU Fighting Tiger himself.
Go Tigers.
And he's coached football. He's coached baseball. And, you know, we lost a great coach, one of my favorite all-times. But now we're bringing one of my favorite all-times back to replace him. Patton's gone. You're going to be the head baseball coach at Bozeman. That's incredible, man.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a great challenge. I'm looking forward to continuing the success of that program over at Bozeman at Jeff Patton's.
And you've already met some of the players, right?
Yeah, they had their banquet last night, and Jeff Patton actually invited me over to their banquet so that he could introduce me to the players and parents, and it was a great experience getting to meet everybody.
And your personality, I think, kind of fits in line with, he loves players. He's an unbelievable coach, unbelievable person. But the way he cares about people, and you're that way too. You love your players. You treat them right. You've been successful wherever you've been. You just helped the Marlins make history. 25 years, we've never done anything like we've done this year. just a couple plays from playing for a state championship.
Yeah, it was so much fun coaching at Arnold, and I'm so appreciative for everything that everyone over there has done for me, and especially our principal, Britt Smith.
You're welcome.
Well, yeah, James Hale being smart enough to bring me over here in 2007, because if it wasn't for James, I wouldn't be here right now. So,
I want to make sure you got that in.
If it wasn't for Julie Hale, I wouldn't be here right now. I'm going to give Julie the credit.
Now, Coach, for those that saw Arnold play the last couple of years, they know that you look like the bass player from ZZ Top. Now you've gotten rid of the beard. Tell us about the no beard look, because I couldn't believe it. I was like, where did beard go?
We didn't know who you were.
He's not ZZ Top anymore.
I needed to lose 5 pounds, so I shaved my face, and I lost 5 pounds really quickly. But I made a deal with the Arnold baseball team back in January that if we made it to the state Final Four, I'd shave my beard. So they did their part, so I had to do my part. So I'm rocking a new look right now. I can't wait to grow it back.
It looks more like Joe Walsh to me.
Yeah, it does look like Joe Walsh a little bit. You're right.
We went to Steve and said, Steve, behind your back, said, Steve, who's this thug out here with a beard? Can you do something about this? He goes, well, they're having a good year this year. I think we're going to let it slide.
Well, I shaved the beard, and then I get the head coach job at Bozeman, so I think it brought me luck. I got to leave it off for a little while at least, We got to take this. We got a caller. Let's take this call, because I got some questions for both you guys that you can help us out with something. I know Jim's one of the things that's in his side, and it drives us all crazy. But right now, let's bring in this wonderful caller. I kind of feel I know who it is. Good morning.
Good morning, and congratulations to those fine baseball men there you got with you.
Thank you.
I love baseball.
Thank you.
But I want to talk spelling bee this morning. I've got a word for you to spell, Coach Hale. I think we might spell it the same way. Weewa Hitchka.
Go ahead.
It's Weewa.
E-W-A.
And then a hitch.
W-E-W-A. That's all you got to say.
Yeah, a Weewa,
W-E-W-A.
correct. But that hitch is in there, H-I-T-C-H.
Thank you. That was me.
Oh, don't show off now, okay? Off doing that.
Hey, we got a Florida graduate in here. We know what we're doing here.
If the guy on the school board can't spell, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I got another question for you. True or false? Our Secretary of State played intercollegiate football. I'm talking about U.S. Secretary of State, not Florida.
His son plays at Florida.
Marco Rubio?
Yeah,
he
his
played
son
one
plays at
semester at Tarkio, a historically black Presbyterian college that is defunct now. He was up there for a semester in like 92.
I like it.
Anyway,
yeah.
If that ain't trivia, I ain't.
That's pretty
here.
good, Mike.
That's pretty.
I know
That's
he's
pretty
a
obscure.
big Gator fan.
Yeah, well, his son got in the game and people went crazy.
He did.
Remember that?
He does. He's a big Gator fan. Obviously, his son plays there in limited role, but still.
He helped. That's one of the reasons Coop's going to Florida.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you all about that when Steve's not here.
Can I ask Mr. Moss something?
Sure.
Please. Okay, you got a Cooper and an Eli, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a Peyton?
You got to pay Manning. All the Manning boys.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
If I do, then I don't know about it.
I want to tell you a quick
We
Peyton
got
story.
Coach Moss's wife on the phone here. Want to talk to him.
I know. Hold up a second. I got to tell you a real quick Peyton story. A person I know well in Nashville who went to Vanderbilt had a child, and her husband loved Walter Payton. And this is before Peyton Manning showed up back in the 90s. And they named the kid Peyton, P-A-Y-T-O-N, after the great, Sweetness. And then he ended up, that's just the cruel judgment of God, which, by the way, if Stetson will beat North Carolina State today, that will be the just judgment of God. Go Stetson, go Hatters.
Boy, we spent the last 2 days at their stadium down there in DeLand, and for a mid-major, that stadium is beautiful. Now it's hot as Hades. You're on the face of the sun, and there's no shade, but that facility they have down there in DeLand is beautiful.
Yeah. I also want to encourage if you want to go make your mark in football, go down there and play for Coach Mike Jasper. Mike Jasper is about 6 foot. I understated him. He is 6'5". And he's lost a bill, so he's about 300, and he played for the Buffalo Bills for a minute. He's a great guy. He's from Mount Juliet, Tennessee, and so you can get a little Tennessee and a little Florida all mixed up together.
All right, Mike.
Balls.
Good, love you, brother.
Talk to you later, brothers. Take care.
We just got a text in here that wanted me to jump on Mike. Back off Weewall. This is from Gordy.
Yeah, the pride of Gulf County now.
Yeah, Gordy is the man down in Weewah.
There you go.
Yes.
Maybe he'll grow a beard too.
Yes.
Yeah. He is down at
The
Weewah
principal
now.
at Weewah?
Yes.
I
I
did
don't
not
know if he's
know
a
that.
principal.
I think he might. He's seeing in administration, not necessarily the
I did
principal,
not know
but
that.
Gordy Pound's
but
right.
that is correct. So, quick trivia question for you, Coach. I know this is a little off topic. You talked about Peyton Manning. How many times Peyton Manning had a storied college career? How many times did Peyton Manning beat the University of Florida?
Zero.
Zero.
Never could.
Yep.
And wasn't Spurrier the coach at that time?
Yes.
It was.
Yeah. Not many people beat the old ball. Let's talk about some of our great people. I know Steve goes to a lot of these places. Brian Norman's always down at these places. Matter of fact, Brian, we're going to get some NIL for you. Take care of you. Some of these big time.
It's about time.
Yeah, we're going to take care of you.
Checks in the mail.
Yeah, you'll get it. Believe me. Hey, let's start with bikes. Electrical bikes are taking over the world. They're all throughout Bay Point, and those things go 30 miles an hour. Be careful on your electrical bike. They also use them. My roommate in college has a double battery, all-wheel drive electrical bike. They use it to go hunting. They have a rack on the back of it. It's incredible what these electric bikes can do. Well, we got the place to go. Steve's Bike Shop on 23rd Street. Steve is unbelievable swim coach at Mosley. The guy is incredible. We're going to get him back on here. But in 1979, they opened Steve's Bike Shop. They've been serving Bay County ever since. They do incredible work. They got all kinds of selections, used, new bikes. They work on all kind of bikes. If you're in the bike business, you go to Steve's Bike Shop. You'll be glad you did. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Pat Perno's the city commissioner over there, does an incredible job at that. But his restaurant's second to none. Go watch all these baseball series that start today. Softball, I watched Florida, Texas somewhat yesterday, kind of disappointed. But anyway, you want to have a great time, great experience, get out to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. And that's the key word, Lynn Haven, Beef O'Brady's. And Wildcat, once we're down there, let's go get some jewelry.
Hey,
Where are we
listen
going?
to this. Yesterday I stopped by and I talked to Russ and Amber. They are getting ready for the largest estate sale that they've ever had. They're going to have jewelry, and beautiful jewelry from $5 to $5,000 out there. A whole new selection. It's a whole big estate sale coming on. It should be ready starting next week. David Adamson.
Yeah, Russ and Amber, we're going to go up them, and they're going to start coming in here visiting with us. They're really great sports. That would be a great addition
Both
to our
of them
show.
are.
Yeah, they're wonderful people. Also, my favorite, this man is truly a legend here in Bay County. Jay Michaels, his life story could be a movie about him. A lot of people don't know what his life story is. It's incredible. You can make it in this world if you work hard. Never give in, never give up. Jay Michaels, proof of that. He's always giving back to the community. The restaurant is like a museum. You go in there, you're not going to believe what you're going to see. Money everywhere, guns everywhere, boats, motorboats in the sea. It's incredible. But the food's outstanding. The best ice-cold beer, the best seafood. Today's special is Chris Fish. Grilled fish over a bed of rice, peppers, onions, and special sauce. It's outstanding. Go check it out. We will be there today. The legendary Jay Michaels. Coop Moss might be down there one day. He'll sign autographs for you.
He can eat. I know that much.
Yeah, he sure can. He gotten big. He looks good. We'll be right back. 104.3. Steve Moss, that new baseball coach, Bozeman High School, the one and only Brian Norman. This guy, you Bozeman, you Bucks over there, man, you guys are going to be happy. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The ride home just got more dangerous. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your spot for the afternoon underdogs.
One of the more underrated, fast as lightning. That he's got perseverance.
Weekdays 4 to 6 live from the CBC Construction Studio. Reactions, rants, and your calls at 850-215-6290. The afternoon underdogs are live and local. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Scattered thunderstorms and light sprinkles this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze coming out of the west at 15 miles per hour, and look for the high to be 85. Tonight there will be light sprinkles and scattered thunderstorms with a temperature reaching 72. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 83. Sunday will have a high of 84 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
CBC Construction is looking for a few good men. At CBC Construction, our greatest strength lies within our talented team. Join us and be a part of a dynamic company that values its people. We offer a tremendous opportunity to create a future for your family and the Florida Panhandle. CBC Construction is now hiring. Call us at 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com to learn more. CBC Construction. Be part of a winning team.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Let's jump into some baseball. Brian, you guys face it. Jim and I talk about it all the time. He goes nuts over it, and he's right. It's never going to change. I was going to ask Steve the political route, but it's never going to happen. We were down in Southwest Florida. Bishop Rowe was a private school there, but throughout Central, South Florida, even the East Coast, Jacksonville, you have all those private schools. All the politician kids go to those schools, so you've lost out there. They're not going to do anything to hurt their own kids and their buddies. So I don't think there's a way we'll get away from it. In the state of Alabama, there used to be two leagues. They were the private school state champ and the public school state champs. Then they got together and they made a private school play, I think, up to at least two classifications, depending on enrollment, things like that. They kind of penalized them, whatever you want to say. But it really didn't matter because their facilities were second to none, and they recruited throughout not just the state of Alabama or the state of Florida. If you live in Florida, they go all over and get, as you know, all over. Is there anything, and I already know the answer is no, but Steve, talking to you first, is there anything you as a school board member, if you go to the superintendent, anything he could do? It looks like they at least bring it up to the Florida High School Athletic Association, because we have been screwed. I mean, we've been messed over in Bay County with Mosley, Arnold, Bozeman, down the line, that we would have been state champs, but we don't get it because we're playing against these things. I know we have school choice now. I know they kind of supposedly evened it out, which it really hadn't. But as a school board member, can you guys address this like Superintendent McQueen? We need you to do this to this Florida High School Athletic Association. I know it won't matter, but have you heard of anybody trying to get something done about this?
I think at the local school board level, it's almost impossible to make any waves in regards to there being a private school designation versus a public school designation. We saw it in the Final Four. Arnold ran into a team called American Heritage, a private school out of Fort Lauderdale. They looked it up. Some of the parents, I think it was between $30,000 and $40,000 a year to go to school there, unless you were there on a scholarship.
Right.
So therefore, a lot of those baseball players, if not all of them, were there on scholarship. So you could argue it's not a level playing field. The private schools can indeed recruit. They can offer scholarships to the best players, whereas for the most part, an Arnold, a Mosley, a Bozeman, they're getting the kids that are zoned for them. Now, I understand with school choice, you might have a kid move in or transfer schools, but nowhere on the level of what these private schools are able to do. They're loaded. And we saw it in the 1A all the way up to the 6A. The teams that were there in the Final Four, at least 2 out of every Final Four in each classification was a private school. Yeah. There was, like I said, there was a Bishop Rowe, there was Archbishop McCarthy, those type names. We played American Heritage. There was it is what it is. Tampa Jesuit. I mean, there's every Cardinal and Catholic saint and whoever has a school named after them, and usually they have a really good baseball team. Go figure. again, here on a local level, whether you're a school board member or superintendent, it's going to be awful tough to make waves. Now, the Florida High School Athletic Association, they're the ones that would drive the boat if indeed they want to separate the private and public. Because you see it every year, Coach. It's not a level playing field when you look at those private schools, and most of the team are Division I athletes because they've been recruited specifically to that school and given a scholarship to play there.
And you just said, like in Bay County, you usually get transfers within the county. These Brian, the public baseball teams, they're getting kids from other states. They're getting kids from other countries in certain sports. $30,000 a year to go to school. That's a different level than the average student.
Well, and Bozeman ran into Trinity Christian.
Right.
Loaded. When I say loaded.
One of the best teams I've ever seen.
Good God almighty. I mean, they could probably beat some junior college teams. My point being is, every single player on the team, it seemed, there were kids sitting on the bench that were Division I recruits.
Yeah, their 9-hole would have started, been probably a 3-hole hitter anywhere else in the state. Yes.
What it would take would be, and it won't happen, it would take every superintendent to get together and say, look, we got to do something about this, and they'd have to put pressure on the Florida High School Athletic Association. They could get it done. That won't happen because down those counties, even though the superintendents are public school superintendents, those politicians and money people are in bed with the private schools, and it just won't. Politically, it won't happen.
Yeah, I don't think it will.
No.
I really don't.
I've been in the state for a long time. I moved to Florida in '83, and it wasn't apparent as much then. But later on, as you go along, the one that gets me is Jacksonville Bulls. Okay, they have housing on their campus. Okay. Like for swimming, they can go to Brazil, they can go to Denmark, they can go wherever they want to go, get whoever they want, and house them on campus. Now, let me ask you the question. How is that the same as Bozeman High School?
It's not. I mean,
how is that the
there's
same?
No fairness there.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not playing the same. It's not the same. It's just not. I mean, when I was in Palm Bay before I came here, we're at Bayside High School. We used to play Florida Air Academy from Melbourne. Okay. Every player on our basketball team was from a foreign country. Or I'm talking like Yugoslavia. I mean, you name a country, they're from there. I don't know how their coach coached them. I don't know what languages you guys speak, I'm serious. I'm not being a smart. I'm being serious. Because nobody was from America. So how is that the same as any public school? It's not. It's not even remotely the same. That's just me. But like we all say, we complain about it, but I don't see it changing. I just don't. I mean,
well, we did declare Mosley State Public School champion when they got messed over, and Bozeman this past year is a state public school.
Well,
we can say things we want.
It's funny you said that. So Mosley's arch nemesis was Archbishop McCarthy for so many years. They would run into him in the Final Four. Archbishop McCarthy won a few state titles, and then you probably know how the story ends. A few years later, they were investigated, and they fired their coach. They meaning Archbishop McCarthy, fired their athletic director. Here's the kicker, though. They were really penalized because of what they did. They got to keep their state titles. So they got to keep their state.
Some games, but you
keep your state title rings, but by the way, we're going to fire the coach, the athletic director, and penalize the entire department. But congratulations, you still get to keep those. I know the Mosley folks were fired up.
I don't blame them.
But anyways.
I'm going to brag on somebody. I always say it starts at the top. You cannot have a good athletic department. Say you love football, baseball, basketball, whatever the sport is, and you want all of them to be good. It starts at the top. It starts with the superintendent. It's got to be important to him, first of all, or it won't happen. And then it goes to the principal. Brent Smith, what he's done at Arnold is incredible. We all wanted a good baseball program. They went out, and the parents, everybody got, coach came in there, and look what's happened. Unbelievable. Look at their soccer team, the weightlifting team. Look at their football team's gotten better.
Softball,
you name it.
Soccer's back-to-back state titles.
Well, you can call them national champs, really.
Yeah. It's a dynasty there in soccer.
And that's Brent Smith. If it wasn't important to him, you wouldn't be seeing these coaches. And look what happened. The baseball team. They go take one of our great coaches is going to go over to Bozeman. And you're stepping in some huge shoes there. But if anybody can do it, it's you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, Brent's been the best principal I've ever worked for, not only from a coaching standpoint, but from a classroom standpoint, the support he's given me and my program and me personally has just been phenomenal. When I told him that I was going to apply for the Bozeman job, I support you completely. Whatever I need to do to help you, I'll do it. And when I saw him yesterday and told him that I got the job, he jumped up out of his chair, gave me a big old hug, and congratulated me. Things that you don't expect from a principal when you're leaving a program like that. But Britt's a phenomenal principal. Can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me.
And you go from playing for a state championship series, now you're taking over a team that got there. I think they're going to keep rolling. And I love, like I said, I love Patton, but anybody that was going to replace him that, the way we feel about you, it makes it a lot easier because we really, truly love Jeff. I think if you're over at Bozeman, you got to name something after the guy. How many years straight did they go to the playoffs?
I think it was 18 years straight.
And I want to thank Steve Moss, too, because they were at Arnold, we didn't have a whole lot of facilities when it came to baseball. And a lot of the schools across the county, I want to thank Steve and the school board members because they got to vote on certain things. And I think we got batting cages at every high school now, right? Just about every one of them have it.
Covered batting cages that have lights on them, where each of the baseball fields, football fields already have them, but the baseball fields will have LED lights that literally you can control from an app on your phone. You used to have the old halogen ones, you had to wait for them to heat up and everything. Every team will have LED lights. Every team already has baseball team covered cages. Every team should have. Matter of fact, Bozeman, we're having a major upgrade at Bozeman with a new clubhouse. There in between, we're moving the softball field back to the back, and so they'll have a shared clubhouse similar to what Arnold has now. But Bozeman, we're putting quite a bit of money into there, so they'll have. Brian knows exactly what it looks like because he's been in the one at Arnold, but we're building the same thing there at Bozeman.
Wow,
so
I didn't know that.
We're putting a lot of money into the Bozeman facilities there. But I will tell you this, as a dad of a parent that played at Arnold, I told Cooper, I think it was yesterday, the day before after I got off the phone with you, that, hey, Coach Norman got the job. And he said, no kidding, I didn't even know you were going to be on that. He said, Coach Norman's one of the favorite coaches I've played for. He goes, if there's anybody, obviously, Brian was an assistant coach there, but he said he was the guy that a lot of the players went to when they had a concern versus, honestly, the head coach. He goes, he is a player's coach.
He is.
That's exactly, that came from my own son.
I appreciate that.
And he said, and you know what he said? He said, Coach Norman made it fun. He said it didn't matter if he was wearing his chubby shorts just to tick off the other coaches. He was shaving a handlebar mustache to come back. He goes, as high school teenagers are really what they are. He goes, we loved playing for Coach Norman because he was a player's coach. He made it fun. Now maybe he was the good cop and Coach Jones was the bad cop. I don't know. But he said, we loved playing for Coach Norman. That's coming from Cooper. He's been with him for 4 years.
Appreciate that.
That's big.
My favorite memories from the past years at Arnold are the van rides to the away games because all the seniors wanted to pile into my van.
I bet they did.
And we would play the fun music and just cut up and have the best time on those van rides. And I think that's what I'm going to miss the most from that group of seniors that we just lost at Arnold with Cooper and everyone else. Eli Blair riding shotgun next to me, and the van rides are probably one of my favorite memories from that.
And that's the thing. I bet you $10. A lot of these players, they will not be able to remember the score when we traveled to, I don't know, Lincoln or South Walton, but they'll remember the van rides. They'll remember where they stopped to eat. They'll remember that camaraderie years more than they will the final scores.
That's true.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about some of our great, and again, and we said it starts at the top. If it wasn't important for the school board members, sports, we wouldn't have these facilities we have because they got to vote on that stuff. So thank you guys for all that. Jerry, you, Coach, all the great school board members we have.
That's the motivation for a lot of our players, our athletics. That's what keeps them going to school, keeping their grade point up. If that's the carrot we dangle in front of them, coaches. Listen, you got to keep your grades up. You got to keep your athletics, your attendance up. You can't get a referral. You got to act a certain way, or you're not going to be able to play. Playing sports is a privilege, and if you don't do this, or this, and that's what motivates those students. If we didn't have sports, I don't think they would do. Matter of fact, I know they wouldn't be in the seats. They wouldn't be doing the grades they are, and it works.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. I got time to do anything? No, I'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Celebrating 2 years of broadcasting history.
I told you this would work.
It's the Best of Bay awarded Inside Drive on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Weekdays 11 to 1 with Ryan Mulvey.
I love it.
Covering the biggest stories, breaking news, the latest trades, and taking your calls. The Inside Drive is live and local middays from the Gulf Plus Studios.
Happy anniversary.
That kid was on roids.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get ready for your next adventure and discover Kia at Bill Bird Kia today. Check out the 2025 SUV family. The road is yours. Take a test drive and see the all-new features that elevate any adventure. Now offering 1.9% APR up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sportage or a 2025 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind that you can trust. Bill Bird Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. See us today.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sportage and a 2025 Sorento with $1,748 per month per 1,000 financed in 60 months. Quantities limited. Cannot be combined with other finance offers not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 6/2/25.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
For the A.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
Your spot for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Listen live nights and weekends. This is Braves Country. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! If you're on Facebook right now, we've got a zoom in on Brian Norman, the new baseball coach at Bozeman. And he proudly wears his LSU colors. He graduated from LSU. His son, one of his sons, was in the band at LSU. And you talking about, if you've never been to a football game at LSU, you're missing out on something. Or it doesn't matter if it's home or away. Their fans are incredible. Baseball's unbelievable. And we're just so proud of you being named to take over for our legend, Jeff Patton. Will be the new baseball coach at Bozeman. And I will say this. They've got the football coach they just hired, you there. There are going to be a lot of people want to go to Bozeman High School.
Yeah, so the area is growing. They're building a new classroom building out there to because of the population of students there. So I think Bozeman High School has a bright future in a lot of things, not just baseball and football. It's a great area to be in.
All right, let me do a couple commercials before Jim gets cranked up. And we got plenty of time we can do 2 segments if you need it. FSU update today. But I want to talk about El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. It's right across the street from the Navy base. It used to be called Thomas Drive. It's a Navy Drive now, I guess. David's got also a new restaurant down on Front Beach Road, 10908 Front Beach Road. Park in the back. There's plenty of park in the back. Doing really well. That's where a lot of the tourists are down there by those condos and things, but it's great. Steve's been down there at El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. His family, Cooper, loves it. They got the best happy hour anywhere. Last night they had karaoke. People can sing like you would not believe there, but great food. Great place to have a birthday party. Now, the happy hour, you buy one, get one free. Small draft beer, which is not very small. They're pretty big. Margarita and house wines. Go check it out. Great place. You want to take one of your, have a banquet there. You can do anything there. Also, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You want to look better, feel better. Jason Kovaleski. Jason's out of town today. He's in the great state of Ohio. He'll be visiting his dad. He'll be back soon. We'll have him in here Tuesday with Jim. And also, I do want to talk about Newbies. We have 4 great locations. John and Charlotte always giving back to the community. Everybody's out at Gulf Coast Jam. What's happening there when it shuts down? Most of the people head down to Newbies, the mothership. You should, too. Go check it out. The best entertainment in the Southeast. Newbies to the curve to go watch all these baseball games are getting ready to be played. Thank you for the FSU update. Now, let's turn our attention to Mr. Jim Barrett.
All right, let's talk about the FSU Regional. It starts today, as Steve Moss correctly said this earlier today. They are going to be playing Bethune-Cookman, which to me is kind of a odd choice. It's like that's not a traditional power you wouldn't think in baseball. Maybe, I don't know. But they are playing Bethune-Cookman, and the other teams in their regional are Mississippi State, who's very good traditionally, and Northeastern, who I really don't know anything about, but their record is like 48-9, so they're doing something right. And the thing is, you got to lose. I'm saying this the wrong way. To get eliminated, you got to lose twice. Okay, so you would think that Florida State should be able to handle that, but you never know. You know, they started off the season really hot, and we said they're not really playing anyone, and then they kind of leveled off a little bit as the season went along. Lost twice to the Gators, as Steve Moss correctly told me. All right, so it'll be exciting. It is in Tallahassee, so we'll see. It's at 2 o'clock our time. All right, now the other thing that I saw, I'm glad we have a Florida person in here. There was a site posted today that said that perhaps in the future, the near future, that Florida State and Florida will not be playing each other in football anymore. And I'm thinking, what? Why in the heck would those two not play in football? And I have to get into James Hale territory. You get SEC. Well, the SEC wants 8 games or 8 conference games. They want 9 conference games. You know, that 8 versus 9 thing we've been talking about ad nauseum for like 3-4 years. I don't know how that's going to affect it, but the thought is that, you know, you got the SEC with the Gators and you got the ACC with FSU. Are they going to be able to find time to have 2 traditional rivals play one another? And I thought to myself, how could you possibly allow that to die? So I looked up, the Gators have won 38 times, Florida State 28 times, there's been 2 ties. So Steve, what's your thought on that, if potentially that this game they may not be able to find room in their schedule to play that game?
I think it'll be easier for FSU and Florida to play when FSU's in the SEC.
That's true.
And it would not surprise me if FSU, maybe even Clemson, join this powerhouse SEC-type conference. I know they are traditional ACC powers, but as you know, Coach, it comes down to money and name recognition. And so it'd be easier for them to play because, I mean, you figure a Michigan, Ohio State, easier for them to schedule in their same conference. Right? Obviously, this is a little bit difficult. I've heard rumors of them maybe moving the Florida State game to the first game of the season instead of the last game of the season. So I've heard those type rumors as well. But ultimately, it's hard to imagine a scenario where those 2 rivals.
What?
I think the alumni would go nuts if they tried to, and not only the alumni, but the deep pocket alumni, the Bull Gators and the Golden Chiefs and whatever, you know, the big alumni. I don't think they'd ever let it happen.
That's a great thing you brought up because Beamer in South Carolina brought it up over in Destin. He was interviewed, and he was him-hawing around like that Clemson game could go away. He goes, you're going to add another 9 SEC games, and we got to look at the schedule, what we're going to do. We don't want that game to go away, but you got to look at things like that. And we would never think that Florida State game would ever go away.
I can't even imagine.
No, it's too. I'd be shocked if that. And maybe week 1, like you're talking about, maybe that's the only thing. Jim, if you go to 9 SEC games, and who's pushing this? Our brother in the Big Ten brother. They want. I don't blame them. They're like, hey, wait a minute. We're not going to jump in. We'll get into this probably a little bit later, but if you're going to do this, you're going to play 9 SEC games like we played 9 Big Ten. That's helped us in the past. They have always played 9. We've always played 8, and we've had a team lose a game and still get in. You add another SEC game, you've had just 8 more losses. 8 more losses. And it is an advantage to us. I want us to keep it at 8 because I want to keep playing for championships.
Sure. But
I don't think the Big Ten is going to go for it. So there are a lot of things going on. We got to take this call right now. Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. How are y'all?
We couldn't be better. You like Jim's update? He's got some good points here.
Well, here's the thing. They tried doing this several years ago, talking about not playing, but both of those schools are state universities. And the legislature told them that they would be playing or they would cut all their funding. So they're not, I don't know that would ever happen. It would have to be, and the legislature just they could pass a law saying that they have to play each other, and so it don't matter who's cut their money or whatever. So as long as they participate, and that state property that they're playing on, so even though it belongs to has the name of the university on it, they can say, "Oh, we're going to play." They say, "Well, y'all going to have to build your own stadium because that belongs to us." So it could get really ugly if they try doing that. And it isn't not just FSU and Florida. It's all the teams. I mean, I don't see them being able to do Alabama and Auburn and them not playing every year.
All right. There's like four. You got Vandy, Tennessee. Right now we have 8 games. You got one permanent opponent. For Alabama, it's Auburn. For Tennessee, it's Vandy. For who's the other one in state? Mississippi State is Ole Miss. There's one more. Who's the other one? Texas A&M. So they'll always play each other. Where you can see the Red River game go away if they keep it like it is now. That's what Beamer was talking about. And nobody, listen, nobody in their right mind would ever think that USC Notre Dame game could go away. Hey, I don't blame the guys at Southern Cal. You're in the Big Ten. You're not in the Big Pac-12, the easy they're in a real conference now. They're in the Big Ten. They got to play 9 games there, then Notre Dame. I get where they're coming from. As a coach, I understand it.
But Notre Dame, and those are private schools. The school can do whatever it wants to. It's a private school.
Yeah, but
so is USC.
USC's in the Big Ten, though.
Don't care. FSU and Florida are governed by the state of Florida. Don't matter what they do, the state of Florida controls what they're going to do.
Miami's a private school.
That's true.
Yeah.
Miami's a private school. We're not talking about Miami.
Yeah.
Because Miami and Florida used to play every year, and they quit.
Could you imagine Florida with their schedules right now? It's one of the toughest in all of football. Let's throw Alabama on the schedule. You got Texas, you got Georgia. Let's throw Alabama in there, and your non-conference games are Miami and Florida State. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
They can't do that. You can't play that every year.
Good grief.
You can't keep a coach.
Yeah.
Anyway, what'd you say? We got to take a break. All right, Rob, you want to hold on? We got to take a break.
I got a meeting here in about 5 minutes, so I probably won't.
Hey, I tell you what, man, you did a great job last night. That last song you did, the tears were coming in my eyes. I did not know you could sing like that. Are you going to come on tonight, late or not?
Hey, you must have been into some of Smitty's jars if you thought I was.
Yeah, we were passing around, having a good time.
Because I wasn't out there, and I'm not going out there. I would have gotten some of your tickets if I really wanted to go. So,
all right. That's true. All right, buddy. Thanks for calling. You have a great weekend. Jim, you get everything you want to do?
Yeah. Okay. Well, what about LSU and McNeese State or LSU and Tulane? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the state of Louisiana, the legislature says LSU has to play one in-state opponent every year like that. Just so,
really?
Yeah.
Yes, and it's built into their schedule. And
they're looking at that in Alabama, but I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah.
Auburn's playing South Alabama this coming up year. Maybe Alabama State, I can't remember. But Alabama, you'll never see, because as long as Paul Bryant's son's alive, Paul Jr., you'll never see Alabama play AUB. You'll never have it. All right, let's take a break, talk about some of the wonderful people we have. This legend, and we finally recognized him. Steve finally talked about him at the game. Dr. Chad Mitchell, 26 years on Bay County sidelines. You can't get anybody to do anything for 1 year, much less 26. The guy's a legend. Robotic surgery, he can do it all. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. The legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell. 26 years. Steve, that's incredible.
Over 2 decades on the sidelines.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And another, we got to get this in here. Steve is in air conditioning. I love him. The guy graduated from Mosley. Locals taking care of locals throughout the Panhandle of Florida. Don't go to some national company. Go with locals, people that grew up here, that love this county. Family owned, doing incredible work. They're there for you anytime, day or night. If it breaks down, this heat that's here is brutal. If it breaks down, you call Stevenson Air Condition. They'll be out there quickly. They'll do an incredible job. They are number one at what they do. They are Stevenson Air Conditioning. We'll be right back. The man, the myth, the legend, Jim Brandt, and the new baseball coach of Bozeman, Coach Brian Norman, and the school board member, Mr. School Board himself, Steve Moss, and the legend, Wildcat. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Scattered thunderstorms and light sprinkles this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze coming out of the west at 15 miles per hour, and look for the high to be 85. Tonight there will be light sprinkles and scattered thunderstorms with a temperature reaching 72. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 83. Sunday will have a high of 84 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Do you want to eat like a local? The Local 115 is now open. Local drinks, local sports, and local food. Delicious oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, salads, paninis, wings, wine, and cold beer. Nothing fried. That's right. No fried foods at Local 115. Amazing local food with an exciting local sports and mural theme. Eat like a local at the Local 115. 115 Harrison Avenue, downtown Panama City.
You don't know what his problem is.
Quit moaning, we're all hurting.
But it's probably hard to pronounce and untreatable.
That don't feel so good.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
What's going on in the world right now? One thing that happened, Jim, I don't know what you think about this. I'm all for it, and I thoroughly think they did it for Mike Leach, the legend that's brought in the spread offense. He did it up Kentucky. He's an offensive coordinator for Mummy and went on and did a great job as a head coach. He's been on our show before. We all know he died. I truly believe when he took that COVID shot, he had some heart issues, took the COVID shot. That affected people in a lot of ways, and he dies. They did change the Hall of Fame. They lowered the winning percentage. It used to be you had to win 60% of your games. And let me tell you something. It's hard to win 60% of your games in college football, NFL, especially the NFL and high school. College, if you get a job, and I will say it right here in front of him, you get a job like Brian Day did. Harbaugh was right. He was born on third base. Your first head job is Ohio State. His record's like 75-5. It's unbelievable. Kirby, I'll say this with Kirby. He took over a Georgia program that was winning 10 games every year. He took them to a next level. His record's unbelievable. But if you're like Howard Snellenberger, of all coaches, Howard Snellenberger was not eligible to be in the Hall of Fame because he took over losing programs, two of them. He started a program. When you start a program, it's incredible what he did down at, what was it, FAU? And so it tears your record down. He took over Miami, and he built that into a national power. But with his winning percentages, because he took over Louisville, he took over losing programs and built them all up. Win-loss record was not over 600. He did get the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Paul Bear Bryant Lifetime Achievement Award, which is unbelievable to get. He did get that, but he's not eligible for the Hall of Fame. This might get him into it. Mike Leach was there. His winning percentage was like 597, something like that. They lowered it to your winning record has to be 5.95. 5.95. I wanted to say 5.9 or something anyway, but it did make who was the guy at LSU? Your
Les
guy.
Smalls.
He's eligible down for it.
After vacating 37 wins, he's now eligible again for it. So
yeah, he did a great job. He took over from the legend, and I got to give him credit. He did a really good job.
Yeah.
I watched several of their games. But what did you? I'm all for it. Lord, if they deserve to get in, what's it matter if
it's hard to imagine a world where Howard Snellenberger's not a Hall of Fame coach.
Right.
had he not left at Miami, he would have had probably like 5 national championships because he had them rolling, and I don't know what he was thinking. He just said, I'm going to go to the USFL. Howard, what are you doing? You got the best program in the nation rolling in the right direction. Golly day, stick around. And he didn't.
Yeah.
And then went to Jimmy Johnson and Dennis Erickson and all them. Butch Davis and the whole shebang.
You made a great point.
If Larry Coker can win a national championship at Miami, I'm sure Howard Snellenberger
You
would.
made a great point. If he'd have stayed there 25 years, winning, he'd have won. We've been talking about him like we do Spurrier, Saban, and Bowden. Right. I think Bobby Bowden said that one time.
Yeah.
That's a great point you made there, Steve. In my opinion, I don't care what the winning percentage is. If they're a Howard Snellenberger, if they're Mike Leach, put them in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Why is there a minimum winning percentage anyway?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I didn't know there was one. I saw this. I said, "What? That's why he's not in there." But they just lowered it to help it somewhat. Bo Schembecker's in, right? In Bo?
I would sure think so.
I think he is. But anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting about that. The other things that are happening today, making news, here's your lineup. Jim just went over it. FSU, what is this? Okay, let me get this in real quick. Alabama first 3 football games. Florida State 2:30 kickoff. This schedule's brutal. Milroe's going to be a lot better next year. I'm worried about this game. That kickoff time for that one, 6:45, SEC Network. Wisconsin game at home in Tuscaloosa. I don't think it's ever happened for a big-time game. 11 o'clock on ESPN or ABC. Auburn, first 3 games televised. Auburn, Baylor, 7 o'clock. They play Mercer. No, they haven't played since 1976. Auburn versus Ball State, first home game, 6:30 on ESPNU. And then the third game, Auburn versus South Alabama, 11:45 at SEC Network. I got Georgia. I'll come back to the rest of them. I got Georgia. And let's do Florida real quick, Steve. Florida first 3 games. They play Surfside, Long Beach. Their first game, 6 o'clock Central Time on ESPN Plus. Then September 6th versus South Florida, 3:15 on the SEC Network. And then the big one, LSU, brother. September 13th, Florida at LSU, 6:30 primetime, ABC.
Third game of the season.
Yeah. So a tough place to be at 6:30 on a Saturday night is Tiger Stadium.
Maybe. And then November 1st, they got
any Jello left?
Florida versus the Georgia Bulldogs, 2:30 ABC. I got a feeling the streak ends. I got a feeling right now Florida's going to pull the upset.
So much revolves around our quarterback, DJ Lagway. I mean, if that guy can stay healthy, no one throws the deep ball better than him, I think, in college football. Some people have him a dark horse for the Heisman. We have some stud. Florida has some stud receivers this year that are coming in. So some people are saying, man, it's going to look a lot like the Fun and Gun, that we're going to throw it all over the field. We'll see.
I'm glad you brought that up. Manning's getting all the love. Okay, they got him up. The odds to win the Heisman, he's at number 1. We've seen just a little bit of him. There's a reason he's been second team these last couple of years. In my opinion, Florida's quarterback's the best quarterback coming back in the SEC. We don't know enough about Manning.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
He's got a good last name. That helps.
I think that's what it is.
That's it.
I mean, what have you done? What have you proven? You know what I mean, on the field?
Steve, listen to this. This is week 3. Brian, you're going to love this. Week 3. All you got to do is sit there and watch ABC or ESPN. 11 o'clock, week 3. 11 o'clock, Wisconsin, Alabama. 11 o'clock kickoff. 2:30, Georgia at Tennessee. That's going to be a big game.
Yep.
And then that night game, FSU, LSU.
Florida.
Week 3. Florida. Yeah. That week 3 is incredible.
Right off the
SEC.
bat.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's going to be a fun day.
Triple hitter right there. Can't wait, man. Softball's doing really well. The regional softball games. Tennessee, Nebraska, you had 994,000 people watching the game. I love watching the World Series. I watched Florida and Texas. I wasn't happy about it. Texas beat Florida. Oklahoma, Alabama game had 957,000. And then Oregon, and who did Oregon play? They were from your state.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. Anyway, they had 807,000 people watch. So that's big numbers watching softball. That sport has grown like you would not believe.
You've probably seen there's now a professional softball league that has got the backing of some pretty big money folks to see if that's really going to play out. Will there be a professional women's softball league like we've got professional baseball? So it's a fun sport to watch. It is fast paced, and some of these girls are just making plays where you're like, how in the world did she just do that?
How much time I got? All right, good. All right, I wanted to get you Georgia Bulldogs updated on your first 3 ball games. They don't play Clemson week 1 like they did last year. They got a team I think is probably even tougher. They got Marshall. Marshall kicks off August 30th, 2:30 kickoff on ESPN Plus. No, actually it's ESPN. 2:30 on September 13th, Tennessee game. I just went over that. And then the Georgia game, they got that one televised. I went over that one earlier. Georgia Tech, they do have that. November 28th, I think that's a Friday. That game we play 2:30 on ABC against Georgia Tech. So that's 4 or 5 of their games. They know about what time the kickoff will be coming up and going forward. But how much time? Okay, we got to get off on this break on time. We got Jeff Spiegel. We were talking about Alabama, Auburn, and we'll get into. I want to get you, especially you two guys, pick your brain and Jim's about who you like in these regionals. I like one team. I'm gonna ask Jeff about this in a minute. Southern Mississippi playing Alabama, Coastal Carolina, Florida's in that region. I think the 2 SEC teams are going to pull it out. I could be completely wrong, but I think that. And we'll ask Jeff about what he thinks about that. But right now, let's talk about some of our great people. Turf Pro Pest Control. You want your yard to look beautiful. Patrick can make it happen. Give them a call. They'll come up with a game plan. Your yard will look beautiful. Listen to Patrick every Monday right here at 8:30 on ESPN Northwest Florida. Brian, have you been down to the local 115 yet?
I have not. I need to.
You've got to go.
Well, when do you want to take me? I mean, if you're buying, I'm there.
Yeah, when are you buying?
We can, Jim, I'd be glad to take you down there. We can do it. We can do it maybe not this Saturday, maybe the next Saturday we can go down there and do it because they're going to have you on their podcast that they do from down there.
Sounds great.
Yeah, they'll definitely want you on that. But what they've done, what Kyle's done, their trivia night is Wednesday night. They made this huge belt. It's beautiful. They're going to put the winner's name up there, and they're going to leave it there. It's incredible. The food's great. The gumbo's unbelievable. The best crab cakes you will get anywhere. You'll think you're back at home. The food's so good. I'm telling you. And the Tommy Oliver beer is incredible. The draft beer there is really good. The price doesn't keep going up. It stays the same. It's unreal. And I will tell you this, too. His brother Lee got run off from here. He goes down to Orlando. You know, he got the county AD, 23 schools, best thing. Vandergriff family's incredible.
Wow.
They have touched so many lives over 30-something years. It's incredible. So get down there and have a great time. They also has Vandy Roofing and General Contracting. They design it, they build it, commercial, residential. They're incredible. Vandy Roofing. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Jeff Spiegel when we get back.
The Atlanta Braves are back.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
And ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for Braves country.
He just wrecked that thing. Straightaway center, a homer for Riley.
Sales, Strider, Acuna, Ozzie, Riley, Profar, and Coach Snitker lead a stellar lineup. Listen live nights and weekends on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Scattered thunderstorms and light sprinkles this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze coming out of the west at 15 miles per hour and look for the high to be 85. Tonight, there will be light sprinkles and scattered thunderstorms with the temperature reaching 72. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 83. Sunday will have a high of 84 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing Scorpion TV. Over 5,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch 400 local network channels from Panama City and most markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Scorpion TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200 plus entertainment and news networks, or watch thousands of movies on demand, all for just $45 a month when you use the ESPN NW promo code at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Scorpion TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Scorpion TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Scorpion TV logo. Don't forget our promo code ESPNNW.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
Boss, I got good news and bad news. Whoa, what's the bad news? Your hat's on fire.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide. Roll. Alabama Update is brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. They are number one in what they do. They never lose. They never have their employees kick the football or kick an air conditioning unit. They do a great job. They are number one, Stevenson Air Conditioning. Locals taking care of locals throughout the Panhandle of Florida. Now, let's bring him on. I tell you, he's bigger than Paul Feinbaum. This guy is incredible. Been covering the SEC since 1983. Truly a legend in the SEC world, Jeff Spiegel. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Coach. How was Keith Urban last week?
Oh, my God. I'm telling you, we were talking about him earlier. Unbelievable. And I will say this Friday lineup, we get, Jeff, I'm not sure you realize we got the Gulf Coast Jam going on right now. So we have a big lineup for that. Next year, Keith Urban's going to headline it. This will be our real go. It'll be the third time we've seen him. He played 3 different guitars the first 3 songs. He gave away a guitar. The guy is incredible. One of the nicest men I think I've ever seen perform. I can't say enough good things about him. But our lineup today, I will challenge anybody, any kind of show, anywhere. Not only you're on here today, we got Steve Moss from the Bay District School Board. We got the new baseball coach from Bozeman High School, which is a baseball powerhouse here in the state of Florida, Brian Norman. And, of course, Buckeye boy Jim Brandt's with us, Wildcats on the board. This is a great day for radio in this part of the world. Thank you for blessing us for being on here today.
Oh, well, you're the best. I appreciate it. Was Nicole Kidman there with Keith?
Let me tell you something. He made her. She didn't want to come out on the stage. She kind of waved. She said, "No, come out here, honey." And I didn't know how people would react to her. But people went nuts. They love her. I was like, wow.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, she's a great actor. I turned down a couple roles in a couple movies with her because I found out what we had to do. I just couldn't do that. I could not do that.
Let's try to keep this on the baseball, Jeff. I have a question for you. So, what are Alabama's travel plans to Hattiesburg, and are they going to go down there and take care of the mighty Southern Miss Golden Eagles?
Hey, he's saying that because he knows.
Well, Coach isn't going to like it when I say this, but I think Alabama's going there with some attitude because I feel like they think they should have gotten a host spot and not Southern Miss. So they're going to be playing with an edge, this weekend. Certainly, Miami's not going to be, a piece of cake by any means. Miami's been to the NCAA tournament I don't know, 50-something times or something. So they've been there and done that. But I'll look at all the regionals and I'll look at the hosts that can be had. And Southern Miss looks like one that can.
Hey.
He's tearing up right now.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's jump
So you say we don't have a chance?
Let me talk to somebody else.
It's a football school. Everybody knows that.
That's right. That's it used to be. All right, we got. You're going to hear about this Cooper Moss kid down here. He All-American. He's made all these All-Star teams. He started as a freshman. We lost to a private school in the state championship games down here in Fort Myers. He's a pitcher, but he can also crush the ball. One of his coaches are in here right now. Brian's leaving and going to Bozeman, but Steve, his dad's here. Steve's a school board member. Steve knows baseball, but you're going to hear about Cooper Moss in the future. Way back, I kept mentioning Alabama. They turned their nose up on that. But anyway, I did my best. I don't know if he's going to go pro. I'm trying to get Steve to give us some insight on that. He won't sway one way or the other. We'll know more about that coming up in July, but he could go to the draft. But Steve, Southern Mississippi plays in the same district or conference as Coastal Carolina. They played one another in Montgomery. I think Coastal beat Southern for the championship. Southern Mississippi did beat Ole Miss. I think at Ole Miss. I'm not sure where the game's played. Southern Mississippi has been out to Omaha. They're great. Coastal Carolina's won a championship. But strength of schedule in the SEC is incredible, like Jess pointed out. Does Alabama go in there and win that region, or does Southern Mississippi win it?
It would be tough. So Coastal Carolina did win their conference tournament. They, you could argue, are the hottest team in the country. They've won 18 in a row.
Wow.
18 games in a row Coastal Carolina has. They're 48-11 overall. So they're hosting a regional that Florida will play in. They're awfully tough. So for Southern Miss to be competitive against Coastal Carolina says a lot because, again, Coastal Carolina, they're hosting the Conway Regional. Florida will play actually just in a few hours, believe it or not, Eastern Carolina. And then hopefully they'll, they're the number 2 seed in that. Florida, golly, you talking about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The Florida baseball team started 1-11 in conference play. They finished the year 14-4 in conference play. And I'll be honest with you, I'm looking at my son Cooper, who's a Florida commit, and I'm like, buddy, I don't know if those same coaches are going to be there next year. I don't know. I know you talk to him on the phone a lot, but this is and Gator fans were hot, obviously, because it was just such a poor start. But Sully
they've
turned
won 18 of the last 24 games. They're hot.
Sully has turned the ship around, and he's known to throwing a lot of these freshman pitchers out there early, and we get our brains beat in, and they're still trying to figure it out. And then, lo and behold, it happened last year towards the end of the year. Like, you know what? These freshmen now are weathered veterans from being through the SEC gauntlet throughout the year, and now here they are hitting their mojo at the right time, just like last year.
Jeff, are you telling me you did say Alabama goes into Hattiesburg and pulls up the biggest upset in baseball history? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I mean, I didn't say the biggest upset in baseball.
Could be a stretch.
That's pretty big.
There was the '69 Miracle Mets, so it won't be quite that big. But no, I mean, I think you look at any of these SEC teams, when they go to regionals, and look, Alabama had a pretty high RPI, and I feel like they got jobbed by not getting a host site, and I totally get it. The NCAA baseball tournament committee didn't want to make it look like it was an SEC invitational, so Alabama was kind of the odd man out, and so they didn't get a host site. I totally get that, but so Alabama's going to be playing with an edge, and I would also the starting pitcher today, Riley Quick. It's been terrific for them. He's 8-2 on the year so far, leads the team in strikeouts. Hasn't pitched since May 16th when Alabama went into Gainesville and beat Florida. But so he'll be well rested. He'll be throwing darts, and he said he's ready to throw 120 pitches if he needs to. So getting off to a good start in these regionals is crucial. If you lose that first game, it puts you behind the 8 ball in a hurry. So, Alabama and Southern Miss, for that matter, want to avoid that.
Yeah, and I think Alabama's got East Carolina today, and then Southern Mississippi's got Columbia, I believe. It's going to be – that thing sold out so quick was incredible. They're pumped up about it. It's not a great facility. It's nice. It's not that great for the visiting team, but the rest of it's really nice. baseball's huge in the state of Mississippi. There's no doubt about that. All right, what about Florida?
Alabama's got Miami, actually.
That's right, Miami.
Yeah,
I'm
Alabama's
sorry.
got
Florida's got East Carolina. That's right. Brian, let me ask you: Is Bama, Bama, Southern Mississippi? Who do you like? Who wins that region?
I got to give it to Bama. I really do. I think they're a stronger team, and hats off to Southern Miss for what they've done this season. But I really believe that Alabama's going to take it.
So conferences do matter.
Absolutely,
Conference counts.
Absolutely.
All not created equally.
No, Hattiesburg
it just means more.
Yeah, Hattiesburg will be. They'll be rocking.
You've been there.
We've been there, and these fans are literally right on top of you at that stadium, and
they're aggressive too, man.
Well, and I remember when Cooper, my son, was going through the recruiting process, they said if you want to play in front of big crowds, pick a Mississippi school. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Southern Miss, whatever. They pack it out and they're passionate about baseball.
Yeah.
So if you want to play in front of big fields, pick one of those schools in Mississippi.
You'll get fired quicker in baseball in the state of Mississippi you will in football as a high school coach.
Well,
kind of like it is here.
Listen, I want to say this on my bucket list is I want to go to Dudy Noble Field. Now, I went to Dudy Noble Field way back in the 80s when Rafael Palmeiro and Will Clark and Bobby Thigpen and those guys played on that team. But Dudy Noble Field doesn't look anything like that today. It is like the Taj Mahal of baseball facilities. And, we got a lot of kids here in Alabama and a lot of friends of my daughters who went to Mississippi State and just love Mississippi State baseball. That's a baseball school.
Yeah.
That's not a football school or a basketball school. That's a baseball school.
Yeah.
No matter what you want to say. And so that's on my bucket list to go to a game at that stadium, which I heard is incredible.
Jeff, I have a question for you. You said, the NCAA didn't want to make it look like a SEC invitational. But of the SEC, how many of the teams made it? It was like 12 or 16 or something
13.
like that? It already is.
13.
Sorry, 13.
Yeah, it was 13.
Just like
13.
football. Half the regionals are being hosted by SEC teams, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
eight sites, right? Yep.
So they should do that in football too.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Kirby was saying earlier.
Kirby knows.
Yeah,
He knows.
I mean, and nobody jumps up and down when you got so many SEC schools and these other things. Of course, there are so many more games, to get a sample size as to how good they are or whatever. But no, I mean, it could be one of those just like softball where, the majority of the teams in the Final Eight or from the Southeastern Conference, and it's great baseball, and this is one of my favorite times of year when the NCAA baseball and softball tournaments crank up.
Jeff, we get back, we'll jump into Auburn. I think they're going to win theirs. We'll talk about the Auburn Tigers. Also, we'll let Jeff go ahead and announce he knows everything goes on, who's going to be the next baseball coach of Mississippi State. I think you got some insight on that. If not, we'll make it up. Anyway, let's take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has the most college and local sports anywhere on the Panhandle. Join the Coach Hale Show, mornings from 7 to 9, live from the J. Michaels Studio.
Best seafood, the Coles beer.
High school coverage, the SEC and beyond. It's all right here. Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Of course, it helps when you're a multi-millionaire.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Scattered thunderstorms and light sprinkles this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze coming out of the west at 15 miles per hour, and look for the high to be 85. Tonight, there will be light sprinkles and scattered thunderstorms with a temperature reaching 72. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 83. Sunday will have a high of 84 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
CBC Construction is looking for a few good men. At CBC Construction, our greatest strength lies within our talented team. Join us and be a part of a dynamic company that values its people. We offer a tremendous opportunity to create a future for your family and the Florida Panhandle. CBC Construction is now hiring. Call us at 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com to learn more. CBC Construction. Be part of a winning team.
When you bring your vehicle to Panama City Toyota for repairs or maintenance, you'll get the warmest welcome around.
That's because we see service differently.
It's not only an expert team that can help with everything, from simple adjustments to a new set of tires. It's also a team that values your time, so we make your experience as quick and comfortable as possible. Because we're committed to service that goes beyond. Only at Panama City Toyota.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle, hey, Martha, Kenny, James, Jenna. Oh, we got so many Auburn Tigers depending on Florida. It's crazy. We are South Alabama. You know what? We couldn't grow cotton here, so we gave it to Florida. Didn't, whatever. We were highly intelligent back in those days. Jeff, let's talk about the Auburn Tigers. Let's go back to Mississippi State. Have you heard anything about who's going to be the coach there? Have you got any insight on that?
Well, it sure looks like it's going to be Brian O'Connor, the longtime coach at Virginia. And that would not only be a home run hire, that would be a grand slam hire. This guy's been the coach of the Hoos since 2004. He's taken them to 7 College World Series. This guy's amazing. And there's been kind of a thing at UVA is he wants facilities to be upgraded a little bit or significantly, and I don't know if he's happy with the way that's gone. So he's kind of had his eyes on getting out of Charlottesville and Mississippi State. That's who they're zeroing in on. His buyout's pretty cheap, $800,000, a little higher than yours, Coach. And
a little bit.
So I think that's the guy they're going to get.
All right. That's you heard it here first. All right, here's the BetMGM latest odds to win their region. Number 4 seed Auburn, minus 225. Florida Gators, minus 115 to come out of Coastal Carolina. Not Coastal Carolina. I don't see Alabama and Southern Mississippi on this one. That's interesting. That's crazy. Now, I did see Southern Mississippi on one. This was a different betting site. This Southern Mississippi minus 105. That means they're not sure about that one coming out of there. But let me ask you real quick. We're doing Auburn, but I do want to ask you about Florida, Coastal Carolina. Who do you think, in your opinion, comes out of that one? Coastal Carolina or Florida Gators?
I kind of like Coastal Carolina. I mean, I think they're probably, maybe a lot of people don't know the quality of baseball that they play, but as has been pointed out, here, they're good. I mean, they've had a good program, for a while. And so I like the Chanticleers to move on there. Not Chanticleers, Coach, Chanticleers.
Okay. Yeah, we got one of the big booster, big money guys right here on our station. Let me ask you this. Auburn, talk about it. Give me a rundown. What's going to happen up in the Plains?
Well, they don't need to overlook Central Connecticut State. I mean, they've got a guy on the team who leads Division I in hitting. He's hitting .458.
Wow.
He's hitting .458.
I'd walk that guy every time.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. I'd throw it in the next batter's box. I'm not pitching to him.
Crazy.
Yeah, right, yeah. So the danger about these regionals is that everybody's got a number one pitcher, right? So if that number one pitcher shuts down your lineup, right out of the gate, then as we mentioned earlier, you're in trouble. You lose that first game at the regional, your odds of winning that thing go way, way down. So Auburn's got to go out there and take care of business. But look out for North Carolina State. The ACC plays good baseball. NC State's been playing good baseball for a long time now. They've been to Omaha. They know how to get to Omaha. And, so that if I had to pick, first of all, last week on this show, I picked Auburn to win the national championship, and I'm standing by that pick. But I'm saying this, that if NC State has got the ability to come out of that regional and win that thing and go to Omaha. But so Auburn's got to watch out this weekend.
Wow, I didn't know you made that prediction.
That's when you weren't here. You were in hiding.
Yeah, I'd have wrecked my car. That's crazy, man. You think that can really happen, huh? You made some picks like this before that happened.
Well, I think they've got the pitching. I think they've got the hitting. I mean, I know you look at the SEC tournament, and they only scored 2 runs and got 4 hits, but I think they struck out 14 batters, and they only held A&M, to 4 hits. The pitching's there, and the offense has been there, so many times here down the stretch. So I think this is a team that is going to get to Omaha, and I think they finished the deal this year.
All right, you heard it here first. All right, what did you take from Destin? Hugh Freeze, Auburn, DeBoer, Alabama. What we can't. I think the word coming out of there is frustrated. Nobody knows what's going on until they settle the lawsuit. Revenue sharing, scheduling. Big Ten now. Big Ten has more power. They're right here. Our twin brother are telling us we're going to have to play non-conference games. I get it. I understand that. What's your takeaway from the meetings in Destin?
Well, I came away thinking that we're going to go to a 9-game conference schedule. I came away thinking that in the next playoff era, it's going to be 16 teams. We all know that. Strength of schedule is going to be, I think, highly regarded in the next playoff era. I mean, it's got to be. And so for the coaches to agree to go to this 9-game conference schedule, I mean, there's got to be some kind of promise that, you know what, if you're going to make that schedule one more conference game, and we play in the most competitive, toughest league, arguably, in America, and I know the Big Ten, is the reigning national champs and all that stuff, but week in and week out, I mean, the SEC, it's a tougher league to win consistently in, every week. Certainly that's up for argument. But the coaches want the strength of schedule to be not only highly regarded, but regarded, period. I mean, it wasn't regarded, in the last playoff. So, right. That's going to be important. So I think eventually we're going to go to a 9-game in 2026, and and then the 16-team playoff, and away we go.
Let me ask you this: so you don't think it'll be the 5 plus 11? You don't think that won't happen?
Well, it sounds like that's what they're leaning to, but I think if you take the strength of schedule into play, then those 11 at-larges, the SEC's got a good shot to get several of those.
I don't trust the committee. I wouldn't leave it to a committee. I think people hate the SEC. Deep down, they hate us.
Well, I mean, and if a lot of people feel that way about the Big Ten. I mean, there's envy. I mean, if you're on top and you're winning a bunch of games, I mean, it's just like anything else. Yeah. I mean, people want to see you get knocked off. So, but I think that's where we're headed. I think the SEC and the Big Ten are going to control this thing. I think they're going to wind up getting 4 automatic bids. And Coach, I don't know how you feel, but I like the idea that was kicked around earlier in the week about the play-in games, ditching the SEC championship game and having these play-in games where 1 plays the 8, 2 plays the 7, 3 plays the 6, 4 plays the 5, and then the 4 winners of those games, get automatic bids. That would be one heck of a weekend. I mean, the TV ratings would be through the roof, for that quadruple header. But that's certainly there's a lot to debate about that stuff.
That's interesting. The one I heard was 3 will play 6 and 4 play 5. But be honest with you, if I'm the coach and my team's number 3 right now, last week of the season, I got to go play a game. And if I lose that game, everything I've done the rest of the year didn't matter. We don't get in. I don't know if I like that. Being honest, I don't know if I like that or not. I mean, I did the work with number 3. Now I got to go do something else. Gene Stallings said that when they played Florida for the first time in the SEC championship, but it worked out fine for Alabama. They beat Florida barely, but they won the national championship. But I'm just saying, as a coach, I'm safe at number 3. Now I got to go play another ball game. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and that was another thing that was talked about during the week too. Is the regular season should matter. Yeah. What you've done in the regular season should matter. So, the SEC spring meetings, there's a lot of talk. Not much gets done. The only thing really concrete that got done was the field and court storming rule. where it's $500,000 now, if you do it, not just the, 15th time, but the first time. And another thing that was interesting to me, someone pointed this out to me after the show, is that, okay, so Sankey says if you allow the visiting team and the officials to get off the field before the fans, storm the field or the court, then you're not going to get fined. And he says that the visiting team is going to take the longest time to get off the field now, like in the history of college football. That is going to be a slow walk off the field because they want that other team to get fined $500,000. So, it's, but I think that's a good rule. I mean, I think they eventually, something's got to be done about this to ensure the safety of everybody involved.
Jeff, did they bring up the flag planting? Did they mention that at all? The team plants the flag? No, I'm serious. Look what happened in Michigan, Ohio State. That almost started a riot up there.
I know. That wasn't mentioned, to my knowledge, but the piece of legislation that came out, like the finality, the only thing that that really got a lot of people's attention yesterday was the field and court storming thing, where now it's $500,000.
Yeah.
If you do it. And listen, and no one knows about all this stuff better than Alabama. How many times has the field been stormed after Alabama was on the road?
Crazy. That's crazy.
And it could be significant. It was $100,000 for the first offense, then it escalated to $250,000, and then if you did it a third time, it was $500,000. Now it's a straight $500,000. And the fine that the team gets levied, right, for storming the field, guess who gets that money? The opposing team.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yep. The team that was on the other end of the storming, so to speak.
Wow.
So to his point, if I just got upset somewhere, man, I'm telling my guys, just grab your gear. Let's talk about it.
Bring your Michigan flag.
So that $500,000 goes to the opposing team that was on the other end of the storming.
We can actually make money by bringing a flag.
A little revenue stream there if you get
Jeff,
upset.
We're getting ready to go. I'm going to let you in a little secret. Every coach in the SEC, the truth be known, they don't want any part of non-conference games. They can say all the talk they want to say. The truth be known, that's 8 more losses. Their jobs are on the line, and the SEC fans are going to have to get used to this. You're not going to see any more 15-0 teams, 14-1. Regular season, you're going to have a couple losses, and that's going to be a really good year. If you go 10-2, you've had a good year.
Yeah, right. I mean, it should. And Hugh Freeze was saying, earlier in the week that, they need to make it more like the NFL, where if you're an NFL team, you can lose 5 games and still make the playoffs and win a Super Bowl or whatever. But when you add that ninth SEC game, that certainly made the hair stand up on the back of a bunch of coaches, at the meetings this week for sure.
All right, buddy. I appreciate you spending. I know you're busy. We truly appreciate it. People down here at the Panhandle of Florida love listening to you. You do an incredible job up there. We will talk to you next Friday, okay?
Well, Coach, tell your friends Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman I said hi next time you see them.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, if they're in Birmingham, we'll come over to your house, all of us.
Oh, that'd be great.
He's gonna bring his guitar.
You gotta cook some chili though.
Oh, I know how to cook some chili now.
I hear you, brother. All right, see you later. Thank you, sir.
All right, see y'all.
All right, get down to Beef Road Race in Lynn Haven. Have a great meal. David Abs and Fine Jewelry. They go hand in hand. You go have a great meal over there in Lynn Haven. Head on to see Russ and Amber. Get you some jewelry. Then go see Dr. Ward. If it doesn't look right, feel right, 5 minutes can save your life. You're a female out there. 2 things you really got to pay attention to. Breast cancer, skin cancer. Dr. Ward can help you with that. 5 minutes can save your life. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. J. Michael's Restaurant. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. We'll be right back. Wildcat. Yes. We love you, man. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Give credit. OKC is the best defensive team in the NBA. They're proving that. Now, that's not, a hot take when you go, how about we credit the defense? It's what's wrong with Anthony Edwards. I'm giving a whole lot of credit to OKC. I've often said many times, don't let the best player beat you.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Father's Day is coming soon, and you want your special dad to be recognized as the world's greatest, right? A gift from that boot store will be just the thing to show you really care. Select from a huge selection of name brand Western wear in sizes to fit any dad, young and old, and at a price you can afford. For that hardworking dad, Carhartt work clothes will be the perfect gift. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 5, Friday and Saturday, 9 to 5:30. Next to Billboard Kia on 15th Street, Panama City. That boot store where God is good all the time.
Dreaming of sun-drenched beaches and a place to call your own in Northwest Florida? Or perhaps you're looking for the perfect investment opportunity. Since 1962, Anchor Realty Florida has been the trusted name in real estate across the Panhandle. Anchor Realty Florida brings unparalleled local expertise to your search for homes, lots, and investment properties. Don't just dream it, live it. Let Anchor Realty Florida anchor your reality. Visit us online at anchorfl.com. That's anchorfl.com.
Want to know the inside scoop on your favorite teams? From the gridiron to the hardwood to the diamond. For comprehensive sports coverage, it's ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so excited to have the new baseball coach, Bozeman, Coach Brian Norman. Coach, you got to be pumped up about this. I got to ask you, though, what's going on in North Bay Haven? They just got rid of the AD. It's like there's always something. And my wife worked over there, love the people over there, but we are sports radio. We are opinionated. We're never right. We're never wrong. This is an opinion. Everybody has one. But it just, and thank goodness Andy's back over there coaching, but it's like every other year or every year there's some kind of thing going over there. And we're not going to talk bad about anybody, but were you surprised?
I was surprised. I mean, it seems like the turnover over there is just remarkable. You get a coach in there that, especially like their baseball program, Bobby Hughes was over there. He coached for years, Mariana, and did a fabulous job, and just decided that it wasn't for him. It's a tough place to coach. I mean, I coached there for 6 years. It's not an easy place to coach, but it seems like they are just running people off left and right over there. Now, I'm not sure why.
Steve, you guys have no input on who they hire. Explain that. Your school board's different from theirs, right?
It's one of the most frustrating things I deal with, because when they fired the athletic director a couple days ago, as you can imagine, I got emails that said, I can't believe Bay District schools would allow this to happen. I cannot believe they fired this guy and fired that guy. Bay District schools needs to get their act together. What folks don't understand is those folks that work at North Bay Haven, they are not employee of Bay District schools. They are employees of the management company of whatever charter school it is. And so we don't do any of that. We, meaning Bay District schools, we don't do any of the hiring and firing. We don't sign their paycheck. They are not our employees. And so therefore, those emails and phone calls that I get whenever this happens at our charter school, I respectively say, well, thank you for reaching out to me, but I have, as school board chairman of Bay District Schools, no oversight. And whoever they decide to hire or fire or whatever, those employees are not Bay District Schools employees. They're employees of whatever that management company is. So we do not have the oversight. So please stop emailing me when they fly us, because they North Bay Haven, for what it's worth, they go through a lot of different coaches and now athletic directors, but we, meaning the folks that are on the board at Bay District Schools, do not have oversight in decision making and who they decide to keep or not keep in their athletics. But anyways, they have a lot of turnover there, for what it's worth, it seems.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, we'll see. If you want to be an athletic director, you want to go there and work for a year or two, maybe. No, but they're good people. They are good people. We don't know what the insight's going on over there. You were there for a while. You did a great job. Andy was there. They got rid of Andy. They were smart enough to bring him back. I'm glad for that. What's your vision? What's your thoughts going forward at Bozeman? To me, the years I coached, we always took over losing teams. Lake Wells was losing. Cape Coral hadn't had a winning season in 10 years. Arnold was a brand new school.
I wonder
I just think it's easier.
That's a good question, Coach. What's harder, trying to take over a team that's 2-15 and trying to build the program, or taking over a team that's 15-2 and trying to perpetuate that winning?
To me, it's easier to go to a losing team.
Right? Yeah, and I'm about to find that out. Because I have taken at North Bay Haven. I basically built the program. My first year there was our first year as a varsity program. At Liberty County, I took over after an unfortunate incident where their head coach had gotten electrocuted on the field. So I've been a part of rebuilding programs. And when I interviewed at Bozeman, one of the questions that was asked me was, Coach, if you get the job, what's the first thing that you're going to change? And that question, I was kind of shocked. I'm like, change? What do you need to change? This is a winning program. We don't need to change anything. We just need to keep rolling. And that's my goal there, is to put my own little wrinkle on things and keep rolling and build on the success of the past and get back to Fort Myers and win a state championship.
You can't win without good. I don't care what they say. I did it my whole life. I was a great coach and I had great players.
Yeah, great assistant coaches too, though.
Yeah, that's true. Moss, Eli, that helps you become a better coach.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can lose with them, but you can't win without them. I really believe that. Jim, I think you think the same way I did.
That's true.
Hey, I'm going to ask you. You took over programs. Is it easier to go in and take one that's been losing, or is it better to go in and take one that's been winning?
Well, I was never in a situation where I took over somebody that was winning like what Bozeman is winning. I was always the other thing. And it takes what you got to understand in that situation. I know we all know here that's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to take that 2-15 team and make them win 20 games the next year unless you get Cooper Moss walk through your door or Eli Blair walk through your door. That's going to help you a lot. So you just got to be patient and just know that it's going to take a little bit. I ended up in some programs that were really good, but to start off, I was never actually in a program like that ever.
Yeah,
anywhere I've been.
Our expectation is to win 20 games again this year, and it's not like a 10-win season is going to be good enough.
Right.
If we don't win 20 games and make the playoffs, then we fail.
I know you were at the banquet. They met you there. Are you going to do anything? I think the more you get out, the more you meet with them, getting more out in the community is going to help it. What going forward? Anything planned like that? Any kind of Booster Cup fundraising you're going to be involved in anytime soon?
I've got to meet with the principal today, Ivan Beach. Meet with him. Meet with Jeff.
He's
Patton.
a great one too.
Oh yeah, he is. I can't wait to work with him. Get the keys to the lawnmower so I can start mowing the field and all the stuff that needs to happen. But summer ball starts next week. Well, I'll be coaching baseball at Bozeman next week.
Wow.
So that's how I'm going to start getting to know everybody, is on the baseball field.
It's year round. I mean, everything's year round now. Steve, I'll say this, and I think you agree with this. The group of principals y'all put together this year might be the best group of principals we've had in Bay County.
Well, different counties run things different well. Bay County's big on site-based administration, where that the superintendent is ultimately in charge of the hiring and firing of personnel, but trying to put a good site-based administrator at each school, whether it's secondary or elementary school, and let them run their school. Now, if things go off track, then the district gets involved, but at least our district, we're big on delegating it to whatever principals out there at their individual schools and let them run the schools that way. And everyone's got their own management. We do not try to micromanage. But again, if things go off the rails, then the district gets involved. But the athletic director and ultimately the principal, whether it's at Bozeman or wherever, have a lot of leeway on who they hire and who they fire. They don't have to call their school board or superintendent and say, well, what do you think? Should we keep this guy or not? Listen, you know your school better than anybody else. If you think it's a good fit, great. If not, okay, make the change. And so it's big on, I think, giving those principals the authority to do what's best for their school and not have, big brother, so to speak, from a district saying, you can't do that. You can't do this. And I think that really builds some strong athletics, academics, and the arts at those different schools.
All right, I want to get your opinions on this. Let's go to Nashville. Got Vandy, Louisville, Eastern Tennessee State, Vandy, Wright State. Who gets out?
I'd say Vandy. They're rolling. They just won the SEC tournament. They're deep in pitching. They can score a lot of runs. They're going to be awfully hard to beat.
Jim, who you got?
I would say Vandy.
Yeah, same here. I think Vandy's going to make it to Omaha. Yeah. It's going to be.
Question. I think I've asked you before, and I can't remember. Have you been to Omaha to a game?
I have not. So Cooper went a couple years ago. His travel ball coach was also the same of a fellow named Hurston Waldrop, who was the Braves' first-round draft pick a couple years ago. So his travel ball coach said, listen, I got an extra ticket for Cooper if he can get out of here. So we paid for his ticket. He flew out there, and he said, Dad, you don't understand. He said, if you're a baseball fan, you have to put this on our bucket list. And I said, buddy, when I go to watch a game, I'll be there watching you.
When does it start? 2 weeks?
Yeah, in Omaha. I mean, and I have friends that are from Omaha. They said that city shuts down during that week. It used to be Rosenblatt Stadium. Now it's TD Ameritrade Park, I think. That city just embraces baseball that week or so that the College World Series is
Have
there.
you been?
I've never been, but it definitely is on my bucket list.
Yeah,
I've got to make the trip.
If Southern Mississippi makes it, I don't know either one.
They said it's
we'll share a hotel room.
Yeah, there you go. It's impressive.
That's the biggest problem is trying to get a place to stay.
Yeah. That and if you're a baseball fan, put Omaha on your bucket list, but also put Hoover.
Oh yeah, that's incredible. You've
got to go to the SEC tournament if you're a baseball fan. Everybody, I mean, there's RVs as far as you can see in the parking lot, and it's a great environment. Everyone's sharing. The LSU fans are sharing gumbo. The Mississippi State fans, they have barbecue. They'll let you taste.
And you're going to get to experience this now for the next 3 or 4 years.
I can't wait. Now I'll be a nervous wreck if my son pitches for Florida there, but I mean it's such a neat environment. If you're a baseball fan, even if you're not an SEC fan, at least go to a few games.
Go when LSU plays.
Yeah,
and I've heard too. Mississippi State fans are good. When Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and LSU there, it's completely packed.
They travel well.
All right, we got to take a break. We get back with final look at these regions. Tallahassee, we'll look at that. Got FSU, and Jim talks about. I got FSU coming out of there, no problem. Mississippi State might be an issue for them. We'll get the 3 experts pick right here when we get back. Let's talk about some of our wonderful people. Appreciate all of them. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Get out to one of the 4 newbies. Have a great time. We love John and Charlotte. Wonderful people. Always giving back to the community. The legend, Chad Mitchell. Stevenson Air Condition. Also, Steve's Bike Shop on 23rd Street. They do incredible work. You want an electrical bike? If you're a hunter, go get you one of these electrical bikes. People are buying those things to go hunting in. It's crazy. They are unbelievable. If you want a bike worked on, Steve's Bike Shop. Local 115. I love Kyle Vandergrift. They do a great job there. If you want a new roof, Vandy Roofing. Nobody does it like the Vandergrifts. They're the best, no doubt about that. Pest control is Pro Pest Control #1. If you want a great, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Aaron loves to make people think he's a mystery, and the media can't figure him out. And he does that because it invalidates us. And we're the one group of people he can't control. He's worshipped by football people. He's loved by teammates. The one group he can't control, us.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Scattered thunderstorms and light sprinkles this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze coming out of the west at 15 miles per hour, and look for the high to be 85. Tonight, there will be light sprinkles and scattered thunderstorms with a temperature reaching 72. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 83. Sunday will have a high of 84 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red royals, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Bestway Portable Buildings recognizes the optimism in the air, and a golden age has begun for all to share. Bestway has been constructing durable, custom-made portable buildings in just about any size since 1989. They know what they're doing. Of course, you're not obligated in any way to buy from Bestway Portable Buildings. However, owner Jason Mulder asks that you please give them a try before you buy. Bestway Portable Buildings, a golden age builder north of the Old Mall on Highway 231 and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We got Steve Moss. Brian, we're so proud. Brian, I'll tell you what, I really am proud of you. I mean, you are not only a great coach, but you're a better person. You did a great job with your kids, raising them. They were both, they went to Arnold High School. You had one made it to LSU, band. Great man, great father. I'm telling you, you guys, you lost a legend. You lose a legend, you pick up one that's going to be a legend. I'm telling you, Brian's a special guy. You'll be really pleased, Booster Club members, school members, faculty. You're going to love this guy. Great teacher, a great person, Coach Brian Norman.
Thank you, James. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to be a part of that Bozeman community.
Yeah. Tell you, man, let's get Jim. We talked about this earlier. I don't know, man. I'm saying watch out for Mississippi State, but I'm going to pick Florida State to come out of there. Tallahassee.
Oh, absolutely. I think, especially at home, it's hard to win in Tallahassee. But, they got Jamie Arnold. Most folks think he'll be a top 5 pick, a power lefty arm on the mound. Look out for their first baseman. He's from Tallahassee Lincoln, good friend of Cooper's, Miles Bailey. Probably he'll be first team all freshman. Just when he hits it, Coach, it's 400 feet plus. I mean, There's no French scrapers, I don't know if that's going to be out. There's a circus tent out in right field if you haven't ever been to Dick Hauser Stadium, and I swear to you, he's aiming for that tent out there in right field. Wow. This kid is a fun guy. He's the first baseman, but Tallahassee wins out.
Mississippi State or?
No, FSU. I'm going with
FSU. All right, at Oregon State, who really cares? You got Oregon State, TCU. I'm saying watch out for TCU. USC and St. Mary's. Who do y'all like out there? Oregon State's the number 1 seed.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I wouldn't put it past USC to upset some people in that.
I got TCU. I'm going to Texas school.
You just like because of the Horned Frogs.
Yeah. They taste good. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Oregon State.
All right, you go. All right. Let's go to North Carolina. North Carolina, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Holy Cross. North Carolina's pretty good.
They are.
Yeah. Who you got?
They are. You got to go with North Carolina. They're stacked and a lot of really good pitching too. They're pretty deep.
I'll go to North Carolina, the ACC champs.
Yeah, North Carolina. They're fun to watch. I really like watching North Carolina baseball.
Let's go to Oregon. Hey, I don't see the Big Ten represented by Ohio State, Michigan. That's funny. All right, Oregon. You got Oregon, Arizona, Cal Poly, Utah Valley. Who you like?
Oregon.
Cal Poly's going to win it all. I don't even know who Cal Poly is. I'm just joking.
I was going, what?
What do you know?
Upset alert, right? Yeah, Oregon. I'm going with Oregon in that one.
What if Cal Poly makes it to Omaha? Then you'd be like, that Moss guy was right on.
This is the one. This one and one other one. I do think the Florida Gators, they're hot. They've won 18 of the last 24 games. They're healthy. I like Florida winning, which means they'll be going to Auburn. And you could probably go up and watch that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, but you got Florida, East Carolina, Coastal Carolina, Fairfield. You going with Ron Mulvey's group?
I'm going to go with the Fighting Mulveys.
There we go. Ron Mulvey. Who you got?
I got to go with Florida, especially as a Florida alumni. I think they're peaking at the right time.
What happens?
Yeah, I mean, Florida's going to be great. I would like to see Coastal Carolina really compete for that one. I think that's going to be a really fun, really competitive regional out of those two teams.
Who wins it?
I think Coastal Carolina might.
You think Coastal Carolina?
They've won Coastal Carolina's won 18 in a row. They're the hottest team in baseball. But, there was a lot of talk that they thought Florida was going to be in the Tallahassee regional. Can you imagine that? With Florida State being in the same regional? They did not do that. But anyways, that would have been something.
Save some money in travel. Yeah. Auburn, you got NC State. They got a good program. NC State, Auburn, Central, Connecticut, Stetson. Who you like?
Got to go with Auburn. Our boy Jeff Spiegel called and win a national championship. Got to go with him.
That surprised me.
Auburn.
There.
You can win a lot of games when you have the pitching staff that Auburn has.
Yeah, you think Auburn's got a shot to win it all?
That might be a stretch because it's such a crazy format when you get out to Omaha. I think they'll make it to Omaha. I do think that.
Yeah, definitely Auburn in that.
What about the national championship deal? Are you buying into that?
I'm not buying into that one yet, but it's going to be interesting to see.
All right, let's go out to Texas. You got the Texas Longhorns, Houston Christian. You got UTSA and Kansas State. Jim, who you like?
Texas.
That might be one of the easier regionals, honestly. You got to go with Texas.
And they won the SEC regular season champs. That coach is incredible. Who you like?
Yeah, it's Texas all the way on that one. A very easy regional.
All right, UCLA, Fresno State, UC Irvine, Arizona State. Who wins this one?
Let's just throw one out there. Let's go UC Irvine just for somebody different.
They're good.
I have no idea.
They're on the left coast, so I honestly.
Left out coast, yeah.
Yeah. UCLA's not bad either.
You got UCLA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with UCLA also.
All right, I'll go with Jim. All right, let's go to Ole Miss. Ole Miss Rebels. Murray State, Western Kentucky.
Hilltoppers.
Yeah, they're a little bit better than the Eastern Kentucky people. That's what Wildcat told me.
Just leave my Kentucky.
Georgia Tech. Who do y'all like? I got Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss looked really good in the SEC tournament. Made a really good run.
Yeah.
It's hard to win. Yeah, it's hard to beat them there. Georgia Bulldogs, man. You're talking about bats. They can swing the bat pretty well. Georgia, Duke, and Oklahoma State. Who you like?
Yeah, Georgia. I'm going with Georgia.
Let's go in an upset. Let's go Duke.
Duke's not bad, but we went to the Georgia-Florida series, and they can score some runs, Coach. I mean, they win games like 15 to 11,
hit the ball.
Or like 10 to 8. So I mean, their pitching is okay, but man, they score some runs.
You got Georgia?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll go with Georgia too. Okay. All right, LSU. I think this is going to be a blowout, every one of them. I don't know, though. Dallas Baptist has got some good ball players. They're good people there. They don't cuss. They act right. LSU.
Jello shots in the dugout.
LSU, Little Rock, Rhode Island, and Dallas Baptist. Jim, who you got?
LSU.
Alex Box Stadium will be rocking.
Yeah,
I really believe this is the easiest regional for the number one seed to come out of. Go Tigers.
Yeah, if you're going, you'll enjoy it. Believe me. All right, Clemson, USC, Upstate, Kentucky, and West Virginia. Who you like?
Kentucky was kind of down this year. I know I like to pick SEC.
How did Kentucky even get in there?
SEC bias. They're one of the 13s that 13 SEC teams that made it.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding, Wildcat.
But Clemson's awfully good, especially at home.
Jim, who you got?
Clemson.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against the SEC team, but I'm going to go with the ACC team, Clemson.
All right, Knoxville, the defending national champs. Boy, I think Vandy put it on them. You got Miami of Ohio, Wake Forest, and Cincinnati. Who you like?
That's definitely a Vanderbilt pick for me.
Yeah, Wake Forest is down this year. They weren't quite the powerhouse that they often are, and so you got Vandy's hitting on all cylinders. If you can win the SEC tournament, you're talking about some momentum.
Right. Wait a minute. Now, what did I say?
Vandy.
Tennessee.
Oh, he's Tennessee?
Tennessee, Miami, Ohio, Wake Forest, and Cincinnati. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay. All right,
let's go. Do I have to pick Tennessee?
No.
All right.
Arkansas. I think Arkansas is really good. Arkansas, North Dakota State, Kansas, and Creighton. Who do y'all like?
I'd pick Arkansas. Dave Van Horn, he always has that team prepared, it seems, for this time of the year.
Didn't they get knocked out early last year?
I think they might have got upset, but I mean they're usually pretty good. They're always their frontline pitching.
They were ranked, I think, number one this year.
Yeah,
at some point.
It's been some time at number one this year.
Yep. Yeah, they're not bad.
Jim, who you got?
Arkansas.
Okay.
Florida did take 2 of 3 from them. That might have turned our season around.
Yeah.
Now, if my Gators win and they get to go to Auburn, that'll be fun. That'd be one worth going to watch. But if you got into Auburn Stadium, what they've done, their baseball facilities.
upgrade.
Have you seen it? You're going to be impressed.
That'd be cool if Florida would play
I think it's down,
Auburn Super Regional.
Yeah, I think it's down the first. I think it's the first baseline. They built that. I mean, it's just underneath everything. It's beautiful. They did a great job with the baseball facilities. And look what they're doing. They got a chance. Jeff said they got a chance to win it all. Jim, seriously, no kidding now. It has to be the weather in Ohio, the Big Ten.
Of course.
I mean, but is it big though at all? Do they even care?
Yeah, of course they do. But the weather it's completely different than what it is down here. Here you can play all year round. You can't do that up north. You just can't. You got maybe 3/4 of the season. Right. You got a shot. Other than that, not much.
Didn't Michigan have a good team last year?
Yeah,
a few years ago they did. It's been a while since you've seen a Big Ten team really make a run.
Right.
All right. Any like Coastal Carolina, somebody like that. Anybody out there that can win it all? That's not a blue blood.
It's so hard. If you're not a national seed, it's awfully hard to get out of a regional. I mean, it's just the cards are stacked against you. You really got to do well and hope that one of those regionals hosts just stub their toe and don't bring their A game.
I want to thank all you guys for coming in today. Steve, I know you're busy. Thanks for coming in. Tell Coop we said hello. Hopefully we can get him in here Thursday. Jim, thank you. You got it Tuesday.
No, I will not be here Tuesday.
Not be here Tuesday. I tell you what, man, proud of you.
Appreciate
Great opportunity. Big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
I know you got a lot of respect for Jeff.
Yeah. I'm not going to try to fill his shoes. We might honor him, bronze his shoes like you do with a baby and put him up there and honor him and bring him my own shoes, and we're going to work hard to keep the ball rolling over there.
Leave it right here all day long. Have a great time at Gulf Coast Jam. We're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Catch the tail.
You do have a female. I got to ask you a couple questions, and we'll give you.
You didn't know you need. You say it is a man's world.
There you go. She got it right.
Yeah.
We got a winner, correct?
Good morning.
Who is this?
Don.